From Chinese Taipei, Pan Licheng. From Mongolia, Elixahong Erenvat. From Ecuador, Tamra Salazar. From Cameroon, Clementine Nombisi. From Finland, Mary Ilmarinen. From Belarus, Anna van Bellingham. And from Japan, Mami Shimamoto. Thank you and welcome to the 2017 World Championships. Thank you.
Here is our start list. One thing to note, Anna van Bellingham, not from Belarus, from Belgium. Easy to confuse those two with the shortened titles for the countries. Only 7 athletes in this session.
She's doing here. As a young lifter, she's a young lifter, and it certainly would instill confidence with her. So being her first Worlds, I assume, maybe cut down some of the nervousness.
So first senior world, as you mentioned. Looks
That's
good.
Great.
So it's also not unprecedented. I recall hearing, and some athletes, they do this. They take their opening attempt in the warm-up room. I've heard it as many as 3 attempts of your opening weight in the warm-up room with the, I think it was 2008 Olympic champion in the 69 women's 69 class from China.
Yeah, I think, look, at the end of the day, whatever gets it done for you.
Yeah.
I think that if you have a very high volume of training throughout the training year, then more warm-up attempts is not going to affect your performance.
No.
But you know, if you don't train with that high volume as some of these professional athletes train with from some of these countries where all they do is weightlift, then you have to be a little bit more careful about how many attempts you're taking back there, or else you can cause fatigue. Yeah,
exactly. She is still the athlete, and unless she takes a big jump or somebody drops down, she will be the athlete, calling for 80 kilos.
And this shouldn't be a problem. In this snatch especially, it doesn't require a ton of energy, so this isn't going to be an issue.
In the past, she has done as much as 91. Did that earlier this year in Nepal.
So she's really below her best.
Yeah. Now that was at the Junior Asian Championships, but again, this is her first Senior Worlds. Maybe getting the nerves out, or maybe taking it kind of as an off meet.
Sure.
Since she just did, again, took silver at the Junior Asian Championships.
Good lift.
Yeah. I'd say she's good for another 5 kilos or so.
I would think that would be reasonable, and that would give her a bit of a rest.
Look at that replay, no problem there. Nice and patient in the bottom. Very, very nicely done. Now, you have an athlete in this category.
I do.
We are
not competing right now.
Not right now.
Or else I would be here.
I'd be impressed if you were running back and forth, you know, a headset on, and that's the next step in weightlifting commentary.
I haven't reached that level yet. But yes, in the next in the 90A, we have an athlete representing my gym, the U.S. Lifting, so Ali Ludwig. So we're looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
It's in her first official international competition. She lifted as an extra in the Pan Am Championship.
Cool. Very excited to see that. In the meantime, Mongolia's Edenvat has taken a 5 kilo increase to give herself some rest. And in the meantime, Chinese Taipei, Pan Li Chen, opening attempt.
These first 3 athletes are very young.
Yeah, she's born in '97, so last year as a junior.
Oh.
So not a very deep competition history, but she has been on the international stage before, most recently at the Junior Worlds in Tokyo earlier this year, where she made 90 kilos on her opening attempt. That was the only snatch she made at the Junior Worlds.
Did you say she opened with 90?
Opened with 90 at the
Okay.
Junior Worlds in Tokyo.
Well, that first snatch can definitely test your nerves.
Yeah. I was speaking with Cheryl Hayworth earlier today doing the commentary, talking about opening attempts, and the way that opening attempt feels and goes can really have an impact on your mental state for the next few attempts.
Absolutely. And I mentioned this earlier in earlier sessions with JP. It also can set the tone for the competition itself.
Yes.
So when the athletes start going out there and missing, it seems to, it can affect
Oh yeah.
the rest of the air of the rest of the competition.
Yeah. So here comes Han Li Chen for her second attempt, 85 kilos. Again, she's done as much as 90 earlier this year.
So it's a reasonable attempt. So it's not
Yeah.
not too heavy. So she just has to figure out how to get herself together and make this weight. That's better.
Yeah, much better. So she's on the board with that 85. If she moves up to 90, which is what I anticipate, she'll give herself a few attempts to regroup, maybe take an intermediate weight, and come back and improve on that result. Right now, Mongolia's Erdenabat coming out for her third and final attempt. She has snatched 91 in international competition, so not at that mark today. But she looked pretty good on her first two.
Oh, maybe a little behind. I think
Yeah.
she might have fell behind that as the bar came up.
I think so. She's credited with 80 on her second attempt, 2 out of 3. Not a bad day.
No.
Not a bad day, and still a junior lifter for another year. Yeah, I would say behind on
Yep.
that attempt. This pulls up. Oop, there looks like there's going to be a change by Ecuador's lifter. We'll see what happens. You can see her staying warm in the warm-up area. The athlete, Ecuador's lifter, they move up to 95. 5-kilo increase from what their declared opener was. Cameroon making some changes as well. Cameroon's Numbasi. This is her debut at the Worlds. For a number of these athletes, it's their senior world debut. Chinese Taipei's Han Li Chen. Back to her for 90 kilos. Did 92, which is her best. Excuse me. Has done 90 flat. That's her best. This would equal her international best. So last year as a junior, turns 20 at the end of this month, which means she loses basically a year as a 20-year-old as a junior.
Oh.
No.
Well, I mean, it was there. Certainly was a
Yeah.
Certainly was a makeable lift.
Yeah, not too heavy.
No.
Just not today. Credit with her second attempt at 85 kilos. Yeah, just up and over a bit. Didn't really punch that weight overhead. We'll see her in the clean and jerk. In the meantime, we go up 5 kilos. And now we've got a number of athletes in this 95 to 100 region. So we are now well past body weight snatches for all of these competitors. Salazar's best international snatch is 96. Although she has attempted as much as 100.
Excellent lift.
Yeah. You know, I got to say, the athletes from Ecuador, a number of them have looked really sharp.
Yes.
Very nice technically. She is still a junior. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, they're all well coached. They're all always prepared. I've had an opportunity to see them lift internationally a number of times. It's always the same. And they have a 105 that's going to be competing, I believe. Good
Later
snatch.
today.
He's real tall, so clean jerk's always a struggle. He was the Pan Am champion, I believe.
Oh, didn't he compete in the B group earlier?
Oh, that's right, he did.
Snatched 181, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's right, he did.
Struggled in the clean and jerk.
Oh, he's very tall.
Right now, Cameroon's Clementine Numbasi, 95 kilos, opening attempt.
Oh, I don't know if they're going to give
I think that right arm, there's a little bit of an elbow bend. We'll see what the judges say. Two of them say no, and that's what matters, unfortunately. That's an international competition PR for her. So, opening ambitiously.
Yeah, no hiding that one.
It's her first senior worlds. Maybe just some competition jitters on the big stage. I think she's more than capable of coming back and making that without any problem. Coaching staff just emphasizing the need to really punch that weight overhead. And
this is Belgium's only athlete here.
Really?
Yes, this week. So let's hope that she does her country proud.
Didn't Tom Gogerberger lift for years for Belgium?
Yes, but he's not here today.
He's not here. I thought I saw him. Is he here coaching maybe?
Maybe.
He was an athlete, is an athlete. I don't know if he's still competing, but competed internationally for longer than many of these competitors have been alive. Decades. And a great athlete. 56 kilos mostly, but also as a 62 on occasion. Right now, Cameroon's Clementine Numbasi. First lift at this weight was overturned. Or turned down, rather.
Yes.
That's the lift.
Good job.
Yeah. You know, we talked earlier about the importance of that first lift and your mental game. And being turned down on a first lift can really throw that off.
So then you start getting in your own head.
Oh, yeah.
And you overcompensate instead of just going out there and do what you do. I mean, she made the great correction there.
Yeah.
You know, instead of doing what you do, you start overthinking it.
Yeah. We see her wearing, and I've seen a few athletes do this. She's wearing the Nike Romaleo 2s, but different colors of them. Athletes, teammates, and friends will each buys a pair, and then trade.
All right.
Yeah. I like symmetry too much to be able to.
That would drive me nuts.
I wouldn't be able to look down at my feet.
Yeah, I couldn't handle that as an athlete. Wouldn't sit well.
Belgium's Anna-Marie van Bellingen is the athlete. 97 kilos on the bar. She's got two different laces.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Best snatch internationally is 105.
So this should be an easy opener, at least weight-wise. Beautiful.
Yeah. Really nicely done. Excuse me, 106. Looks like she did 106 just this summer at the Summer Universiade.
So I would expect maybe 102, 103 on her second.
She's an athlete. You know, I'm looking at some of her body weights at past competitions. Weighed in 79, 84, 83 in that range. She's an athlete for whom this weight class was really designed, because she was a bit heavy for the 75 kilo class, but really too small to be a proper super. And I think it's great, aside from parity, just to have another space for athletes to compete, who again, we're not going to be weighing in at 100, 120, 130 kilos.
I'm interested to see how the IWF handles the unlimited classes. I think the average weight for the men in supers is about 140 kilos.
Yeah.
So
105 plus is just silly.
It's just, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And 90 plus is maybe equally as ridiculous, but not quite. So we'll see. You know, it's a give or take, because the Asian nations are fighting for lighter weight classes, and the European and the Middle Eastern countries are fighting for the heavier weight classes. So a lot of it's going to come down to how the board votes and which countries are on the board.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting to know what happens in the back room.
Yes. But if it is 10 and 10 classes, you can spread that out pretty nicely.
Well, I'm more concerned about the Olympics. What's going to happen with the Olympics?
Yeah. Right now, Ecuador's Salazar, second attempt, 99 kilos.
Nope. Okay.
Not bad. You know, it looked like it was in a good position behind the head. I think maybe her torso was just leaned forward a bit, or she stood up.
I think she pulled with her arms a little too soon.
Okay.
Which kind of threw off the timing of it all. Couldn't really tell from there. But I really like to see that chest up position.
Yeah.
Really puts the emphasis on the legs. I didn't see that. I saw it on the first one.
Yeah.
Didn't see it on the second.
Okay.
And as a young lifter, you're going to make those subtle errors.
As an old lifter, I can confirm you're going to make those errors. As a lifter at any stage, you're going to make those errors. But she got it, and she's still got one more. Right now, Ilmarinen of Finland, 100 kilos.
Rinta ulos, kunnolla tangon päälle ja pystyyn.
It's a pretty heavy opener for her. I think it's her heaviest. Looks great, though.
It looks great. It's tough to tell, since this isn't it's the first Worlds of the quad. You don't know who's coming in shape and who's not.
Yeah.
You know, some of the lifters that lifted at the Olympics might have taken time off. I know Rostami was off.
The 85,
and he just started from the Islamic Republic of Iran. He had only been training about 10 weeks for this. So,
not bad for a guy snatching 174.
Sure. So you don't really know who's in shape and who's not.
Right now, Mami Shimamoto of Japan, opening attempt, 100 kilos.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Fairly typical of the Japanese lifters.
Technically very nice.
Just very controlled and measured and technically efficient.
Yeah. So she's an athlete. If you look at her competition history, again, she had to be a super before this because there was no 90 kilo class. Weighing in around 100, a little more, maybe give or take. And what I imagine is, like many of those supers at that 100 mark, struggled to stay in the class at that weight.
No way you could stay.
Yeah, and so.
Although Tatiana's only about 108.
She is an outlier.
But
and even she, per her coach and herself, struggles to keep the weight on.
Yes.
I think, if anything, if there were a 100-kilo class, I think she might be built for that. And the first Worlds I saw her at, 2010, I think she weighed in about 94. Snatched 145 and lost out in the clean and jerk.
To your point, I know that she struggles trying to keep that weight on.
Yeah. Right now, Clementine Numbasi, third attempt, 100 kilos.
You know, it always makes me nervous when I see an athlete throw their head back like that.
Yeah.
It tends to add rotation to the bar.
The last thing you want.
I mean, you see a lifter like Muhammad Ihab, who is not only a great lifter, but is internet famous.
Yes.
And we start to
rightfully so.
Right. Yes. I'm not blaming him at all. But then he throws his head back, and then everybody wants to throw their head back.
Exactly. He's not successful because of the head throw.
No. It just happens to work for him.
Exactly.
But you young lifters out there, that's not the way you want to at least start it.
Anne-Marie van Bellingen, Belgium, 101.
Maybe a little bit. Did she jump a little forward, maybe?
Tom Goldberger's back there with her. I can see him right now. One of the greatest athletes, one of the greatest weightlifters to come out of Belgium. So she's got a great athlete in her corner. I think and there he is at the table in the jacket. Excellent 56 and 62 kilo lifter. Think she's strong enough? You asked, did she throw it a little bit?
I don't know if she might have skipped forward a little bit,
yeah.
and then the bar might have been in the right spot, but
she wasn't.
She wasn't.
Yeah, hard to say what went wrong there. I think she's strong enough.
Oh yeah.
And I think she's going to go up.
And I don't have a problem with that call.
She looks like she's going to repeat, although it's unclear. We did see Tom, one of her coaches, at the table. Right now, Salazar of Ecuador, 101 kilos. I think that's a pretty good call for her. The 99 wasn't as solid as we might like, but if she does this, she relies on the training and the technique. I think she's got this.
Relax the arms, keep the chest up, and use the legs.
That was the best one.
Yeah, that was great.
I don't know if she was listening to you, but it looked like it. That was a really nice lift.
As a coach, you know, I watch that second attempt and I start to question what the third attempt's going to be. If she did that on her second, I'm assuming I would have been more comfortable going up a little bit more.
No, exactly. Although, as Cheryl and I were saying earlier this morning, you know, you see an attempt like that and you think, oh, it looks so easy. Why didn't you do more? I think, no, it looked easy because I did it right. I was still doing the most I could do.
Right, exactly.
I did it right. I mean, you know, but again, I think she'd done that on her second. Maybe you got a 102 or a 103.
Absolutely.
Anne-Marie van Bellingen, 101. Missed this on her second. She's going for it again on her third.
Hold it.
Wow.
Good job.
Breathe
a sigh of relief.
As does the crowd, I think. That was hard fought, but she held on. Very strong. Yeah. Very tough. Look at this. You know, pretty good overall.
Yep. At the very end, she lost a little bit of a tightness up top, and the bar started to drift a little on her, but she was able to recover that.
So nice comeback by Van Bellingen. Right now, Finland's Ilmarinen. You know, her opener in 100 looked great, and they've taken a pretty conservative 2-kilo increase.
Oh, when she moves well, she's a little out of control.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. I mean, she's got a tremendous amount of speed.
Yes.
Almost too much.
Well, she just, I mean, she needs to be more like a sniper rifle, not a shotgun. She's a little bit all over the place. But, I mean, she's real powerful and athletic. She's needs a little more control.
So she'll have a 2-minute clock following herself. And I think, because she'd have to really move up to, 105.
I don't see that.
Which I don't think makes sense. And with a snatch, like you said, doesn't take a ton of energy. She didn't waste a ton of energy fighting that. Give it a minute, find your right rhythm, come back out, nail that.
And she's right now she's the highest opener
in the clean and jerk.
In the clean and jerk, so she doesn't really have to take any chances here. She wants to win this group.
Yeah.
Just make snatches.
Yeah, exactly. So plenty of time left still. A little over 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining for her. Coach giving her a good slap to the trapezius muscles. Yeah, you know, we saw earlier, a warm-up by her, I think at around 85 or so kilos. And she looked sharp, looked very dynamic, very powerful. So tons of strength and power. Just needs to rein it in.
Yes.
Tiukka paketti, käsirento. Ja pystyyn.
Yes.
Better. Okay, still not perfect, but pretty good.
Good enough.
Exactly, good enough for 3 white lights. So way to come back and make that 102 snatch. Right now there, and you can see actually caught it well on the recovery. I think is where maybe rushed out or started rising with the hips as opposed to the chest and shoulders.
And that's going to put her in a really good position to win this session.
Mm-hmm. Japan's Mami Shimamoto. And that snatch is going to be okay in the A group, I think.
Yeah.
Not podium, but it'll be okay.
Oh.
Kind of dove under that, was looping around a little bit, and you know, in that case, let it go behind. Don't fight it too much if it's out of place.
Right. It's tough, though. I mean, you've been a lifter for a long time. It's easier said than to say that from here.
I know. It's easy to say that from here. The distance of a few years, a little older and wiser.
Right.
My issue, I was never fighting for stuff behind, but or out front. And yeah, I would chase stuff. And I look at people chasing stuff now, and I think, let it go. Come on.
I know right or wrong, and I did this in training as well. Every lift I took, I thought it might be my last. So
I've seen some of your lifting, and that's a fair assumption.
So I attacked it that way every time, and I think it shortened my career.
But listen, shortened one, maybe led you to your second career.
Sure,
coaching.
no doubt. Believe me, one thing I learned as an athlete was what not to do in many cases.
An important skill. Oh, going to 108 we are hearing.
Which is, she's going to need this to stay with
Ilmarinen,
Yes, sorry.
our snatch leader.
With
yeah.
the snatch leader to have a chance.
Oh, so one of her coaches back there, her uncle, is her uncle, and the 48-kilo athlete. Let's see if she can put this overhead.
And she's certainly strong enough. That last one's just a little out of position.
Her uncle, a 3-time Olympian for Japan.
Oh,
Yeah.
little
unfortunately,
undercompensation there.
Yeah.
So that was a tough one because that's a potential 8-kilo swing,
Yeah.
and she would have needed all those kilos to keep up.
You see right there. Yeah. Unfortunately, you know, I think another crack at 105 might have been a better call there. Easy to say that from our
Sure.
position in retrospect, but
What that tells me is that her clean and jerk is what it is. It is
Yeah.
what we're seeing.
yeah,
You know, they're not gaming it.
exactly. So she's.
I don't see how that has made any sense, but.
Here are their snatch results. Finland's Ilmarinen in first with 102. Ecuador's Salazar with 101, and Belgium's Van Bellingen with 101 as well. Shimamoto of Japan just behind with 100. And most of these athletes, a number of them only made one, a couple two. Only the Ecuadorian. Hello and welcome back to the 2017 IWF Weightlifting World Championships, where we are watching the start, the first lift, in the clean and jerk phase of the women's 90-kilo B session. This is Mongolia's Erdenbat, 95 kilos.
Very nice.
Squat jerk. As an easy opener.
Yes, it was.
She ended up with an 80-kilo snatch on her second attempt, 2 for 3. And with that 95-kilo clean and jerk, gets on the board with a 175-kilo total.
I got to imagine we're going to see at least 100 from her on her second.
I think so. That looked pretty good. Pretty easy. Squat jerk, somewhat unusual, especially for female competitors.
I have to say I'm not a fan.
No?
No, I'm not a fan.
Because I have to say I wouldn't recommend it except in the rarest of cases. It's just
Yes.
too risky.
Too many things can go wrong very quickly.
Yep.
And there's no recovering from it. There's no margin of error. And it requires a specific body type, which I'm not 100% sure what it is, but a lot of people that try it don't have it.
Yes, I would agree. Right now,
Also, she's called for 105.
wow, quite an increase.
But reasonable given what that looked like.
Yeah. Nice clean. This is Chinese Taipei's Pan Li Chen. Look good. Opening attempt for her, 105. She snatched 85 on her second attempt. Her only snatch, 190 total. Pretty good clean. She almost beats the bar down,
Yeah.
kind of crashes on her just a little bit. Hold it with no problem.
I'd like to see her drive the bar a little bit more ferociously. It's a little bit of a soft drive. I think if she doesn't make that correction, she might have some problems with missing the jerk out in front.
Yep.
Or missing the jerk in general.
Right now, Mongolia's Erdenbat, 105. This is a 10-kilo increase.
Not unusual for this weight class. Very nice.
Yeah.
Hold it. There's. Oh.
Very nice, and nice and patient for a junior lifter. Someone who hasn't really been on the world stage for a whole lot of time.
That was a great. That's the. I think it's the hardest save in weightlifting, whether it's in that position.
Yeah.
Because you're in the. It's the weakest position you can be in.
You're super low, a lot of weight overhead, arms very narrow overhead.
But even in the snatch, you know, it's just a tough. When that bar starts drifting on you.
Yeah.
We've seen a few people save the snatches that way this week, and it's always. I always shake my head in disbelief.
Yeah, it can be a harrowing experience just to watch.
Yes, it can.
This is Erden Bat's second World Championships, it looks like. It looks like she competed in the 2015 World Championships in Houston. There is Mami Shimamoto of Japan.
2012 Olympian, I didn't realize that.
She was listed as a lifter briefly, I believe, but she's moving up. That means Chinese Taipei's Panli Chen will be the athlete once again. It's her second attempt. She's done 120 before, so this should be within her capabilities. That was just a few months ago.
All right.
So yeah, it's a little better than her opener, I think.
Yeah, you know, it's if you're not going to drive the bar higher, you should better get down lower.
That's what she did.
That's what she did.
Yeah, she's an example of someone who really shoots under the bar in the jerk.
You know, problem with that is the ground isn't going to go any further down. So at some point, that strategy's not going to work.
There is a limit to how low you can go.
Right.
It works there. I don't know if it's going to work with too much more, to be honest.
No.
Right now, Mongolia's Erdenbat is coming out for her third and final attempt. She went 95, 105, now 111 on her third and final attempt. She's operating well above her previous best, it looks. Looks like she's only done 102
wow.
at the international level in the past.
Oh, that's just great. She has a great clean.
Yeah.
Yes, hold it.
No. You know, very impressive, very patient, especially for someone who is a junior lifter, still has another year as a junior, but that's one of many reasons why I think people are very hesitant to employ the squat jerk.
I'm with you on this.
You're doing an overhead squat with an enormous amount of weight, and she was pretty steady there, but now
then you start
up.
to fatigue.
Yeah.
And you need that strength getting through that tough part of the ascent, and your shoulders and arms fatigued, you can't stabilize.
Yeah, no, I think, again, it's a risky proposition. Japan's Mami Shimamoto snatched 100 kilos, opening with 112 in the clean and jerk. She's done 130 in the past. And that looked pretty easy.
Yeah.
Excuse me, she's done 140 in the past as a super. So a body weight class up, weighing about a little over 100. She's done 147, it looks like.
Huh.
Yeah, as a super. And that was a few years ago, though. That was in Paris at the 2011 Worlds. So I don't think we're going to be seeing that today.
No.
And this is only, from what I can tell, it's only her second competition in this bodyweight category. So maybe adjusting.
Yeah, it takes some time. I've gone from supers, from 105s to supers and then back down. And it took me 6 months, 6 to 8 months to really feel good again.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, it was terrible. It just, the weirdest part is like in the bottom of the squat or catching the clean, you're so used to everything rubbing up against each other in the bottom there. And then when you lose all that weight, you're sitting there and you feel like there's nothing supporting you. And it's a terrible feeling until you get used to it.
Kind of commentary you're only going to get here with Sean Waxman. Things rubbing up against each other in the bottom position.
The bottom, it's great. It's like a spring. It springs you right out of the bottom.
You know, interestingly, the opposite is also true. I know that, and I was never a super, but when I would compete as a 77, train around 80, just setting up over the bar, extra 3 kilos.
Really?
Felt a little different setting up over the bar.
Well, you know, that's why with my team at Waxman's Gym, I don't let my athletes go above 2 kilos.
Okay, for all weight classes.
For all weight classes.
Interesting. Right now, Pan Li Chen, Chinese Taipei, 115 kilos.
Oh.
No. A little too heavy, I think. That's all right. She's credited with her second attempt, 110, 195 total on the day. 3 for 6, 1 snatch, 2 clean and jerks. Not the best day, but made half her lifts overall.
She's a young lifter, and it just in the heavier weight classes, it takes longer to develop.
Yes.
As an athlete, so not unusual to see her in a few years really become a good lifter, especially from Chinese Taipei. They are very well coached athletes.
Right now, Cameroon's Clementine Numbasi. She also only made 1 snatch, 95 kilos. Opening with 117 here in the clean and jerk. This would be, if I'm not mistaken, this would be an international competition PR.
Very nice.
Well done, gets on the board with that lift. Quite a bit more than she's done in the past. Did 110, I believe, at the African Championships in 2016. A little bit unrefined in the clean.
A little bit
rough. Bar crashes on her early arm bend, but lots of power, very strong in the jerk. Was better.
Yes.
Here is Belgium's Anne-Marie van Bellingen. This is our snatch. She's in 3rd in the snatch in this group with 101, opening 117 in the clean and jerk. Ooh, power jerk.
All right. Which I'm more okay with.
Yes, as am I. As am I. I think the power jerk is a great option for athletes who, for whatever reason, struggle with the split, which is tremendously difficult. And there are trade-offs.
It's an exercise that you're going to use in training as well.
Exactly. Very rare, perhaps exceedingly rare, that you're going to use a squat jerk as part of your regular training.
Oddly enough, you know, I will use it in certain periods of time during the training cycle as a warm-up to the clean. I'll have them do like a no-touch clean plus a squat jerk before they, as the first exercise.
Before an actual clean and
And
jerk.
then they'll go into clean and jerks.
Gotcha.
So for a number of reasons, it helps loosen up the upper body, helps activate the upper body as well, but it's not a huge part of the training.
Tom Gogeberger there, Belgian athlete for many, many years at the international level. Now, do you have athletes power jerking in Waxman's gym?
As a
jerk.
Training exercise.
Just training exercise.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I actually have one athlete that does the power jerk.
Okay.
And he does it. He's really good at it. But other than him, I don't have anybody doing it. And that's because we couldn't get him. He's been with me a long time, and we just couldn't get him to split right.
Yeah.
So I saw him do it in training. I was like, oh, what the heck are we wasting time here? Let's just go.
Good decision sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Now.
But in 25 years, it's the only one. So.
Japan's Mami Shimamoto. Second attempt, 120. Pretty big 8-kilo increase. And actually, her opener looked pretty confident.
Yes. Well, she just does just enough to get under that jerk.
Just drives it to where she needs to, and
there's
then
no room there.
But gets on the board with that 120. Pretty nicely efficient clean too, and you can tell the legs a little struggling, and
it's just enough. Good for her.
So 220 total for her right now. Still has one attempt left in the clean and jerk. Here is our snatch leader in this group.
She just has to make a couple of lifts, and she's going to win this group.
Yeah, Meri Ilmarinen of Finland. 2 out of 3 in the snatch, ended with 102. Very powerful.
In order for Mami to have any chance, she's going to have to miss some clean and jerks here.
Now Meri Ilmarinen has done 121.
Well, that's what she's opening with
in the past, and that was on a third attempt.
She is strong.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
That puts her in a good spot.
Yeah, she can sit back and see how things play out, because she's got a nice couple kilo lead in the snatch, or kilo lead over some of her other competitors. That was a pretty solid lift.
So I would imagine that Mami's going to go to 224 on her third.
Yeah.
And that'll put her ahead.
124 on her third.
Did I say 224?
If she went to 224,
that would be amazing.
Wada would probably be blocking her on the way to the platform. Right now, Annemarie van Bellingen, second attempt, 121. She's our snatch third in this group.
Relâche les bras. Bloc, bloc.
Yeah. So a 4-kilo improvement over her opener. 121 kilos. She's 4 for 5 on the day. 222 total so far. Second place overall in the session. There is one athlete we have not seen yet in the clean and jerk. Ecuador's Yamara Salazar, who is in second place with her 101 snatch for this group. Tom Gogeberger,
She might just be sitting back and waiting to see. Do we have any information about what her competition bests are tomorrow?
So her bests are 125 in a clean and jerk, and that was done about a year ago, 2016, Junior Worlds in Greeley, Georgia.
I'm assuming she might open with more than that.
There's a good chance, and she's listed 125 as her opener right now. But yeah, it certainly seems like she is more of a clean and jerk specialist. That seems to be her strength, but she had a pretty good snatch day today. Looks like her snatch of 101 today is an international competition PR. Right now, Cameroon's Clementine Numbasi is coming out for her second attempt, 123. So this is a 6-kilo jump from her opener.
I'm concerned a little bit about this attempt for her.
Yeah, the 117 opener, the clean, very strong, but
a little rough,
a little wild. Yeah,
that was my fear.
Yeah, and, you know, you mentioned she didn't quite throw the head back, I don't think, but she was looking up.
Yeah,
for much of it. So,
well, like in sports, you know, in wrestling,
they did throw the head back.
You know, you try to get to someone to drop their head and then to get their balance for it. So the head really dictates balance.
Yeah. So that, you know, it doesn't look heavy. It's a timing and technique issue there.
The clean and jerk is a fickle exercise.
Yes.
You know, at some point, your technical problems will come and bite you in the behind.
Yes.
You can't just muscle a clean. That's why that was the case. We'd have power lifters and strongmen coming and setting the world record. You just can't. Can't do it.
You know, it's a little more forgiving than the snatch because you can get away with some errors. Some, exactly. And I would argue that in the clean that's true, but in the jerk, not really.
The jerk is the most often missed lift, for a number of reasons, one of which is you're doing it second after the clean. Yeah. But the margin of error for the jerk is millimeters.
It's like the margin of error for a snatch, but with more weight and after having done another exercise.
Right.
So, yeah. Right now, Clementine Numbasi, 123, third attempt.
I mean, if she times this a little bit better, she'll stand up.
Yeah.
She's got a chance now.
Yeah. No. Not too heavy. I just think after a clean, that traumatic, hard to have enough left in the tank to give the jerk a good effort.
And she's got to drive the bar. She has really long arms. She's got to drive the bar really high. And the greater distance you have to move the barbell, the more chance of error you have.
Yeah.
So she has to be more efficient in the clean in order to have a better chance at making the jerk.
So she ends the day with a 212 total, one snatch and one clean and jerk, but gets a total, gets on the board. Plenty of room for improvement with all that power. Right now, Finland's Meri Ilmarinen. Second attempt, 124. Nice clean. Pretty nice jerk too.
So I don't think we're going to see Salazar until 126.
She's going to wait until everybody else.
I just think she's going to wait and she's going to come out and exert her dominance.
Well, you know, if I were her, though, I would say, let me take the 25 so that then I can give myself a little breather.
Sure.
If she's going to be following herself almost certainly for her second and third.
Well, I think it depends what happens on these third attempts. Because if they miss, 26 wins.
Yeah. Anna van Bellingen of Belgium, 124. She's done as much as 130.
Very nice.
Good clean. No. It's a good fight.
Yeah. Once that bar starts moving though overhead, it's really, especially with your feet not staggered.
Yeah.
It's really hard to stop.
Yeah. Tolerances are that much tighter with the power jerk.
Yep.
Not a bad clean.
No.
Gets the elbows around nicely.
It's that little drift forward right as she
Yeah.
starts to ascend.
Exactly. I think the whole time that weight was, I mean, with a barbell on the shoulders, the center of mass is always a little bit forward of the body.
Yes.
But there, it was a little bit too far forward the whole time. And now, Salazar of Ecuador.
This makes sense. This will tie her. This will put her in second. But she has 2 more attempts.
Yeah. Beautiful clean.
Yeah. I mean, she's just playing around.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful jerk. Looks like that's close to, no, that equals her international PR of 125. 2017 Pan Am's attempted 127, but didn't make it. So that's great. She's operating at her best. That jerk is just fantastic. Looks easy.
Given her age, I don't know how long she's been in this sport, but the time frame of progress is really accelerated. So what was difficult 6 months ago is easy now.
Yeah. Yeah, she is a junior lifter still. So this is Japan's Mami Shimamoto. Kind of a tough clean at the top. No.
No drive.
So she ends up with a 220 total. 1 snatch, 2 clean and jerks. Again, I think we mentioned earlier, this is just her second attempt or second competition in this category after lifting as a super. So adjusting to the body weight class. And the year after the Olympics, we often see some of the totals down by athletes as they recover, maybe take a little time off. Right now, Finland's Meri Ilmarinen coming out for her 3rd attempt, 126 kilos.
So this will give her 228 and the lead temporarily.
Big improvement over what I believe was her previous best in the jerk, 121. Best total ever, it looks like 219. So she's already made
great day.
Yeah, very good day.
That's fantastic. And on the biggest stage in the world.
Yeah.
So excellent job. Oh, I thought she was sat in front. Good.
And she really pulled it. It just almost caught her off guard.
Hold it. Hold it. All right.
The elbows were a little bit soft maybe, but No.
Oh.
Yeah.
You are correct, sir.
I hate to be correct in that instance, but
Oh, man. I guess I was rooting for her so hard I missed it.
you know, it was mostly her left arm. So from your angle, you might have missed it. And actually in that angle,
Can't
it's
really
hard to see
see
it
it.
well. But just a little bit.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's all right. She ends up, you know, 4 for 6 day, 226 total. Competition PRs there. Got to be happy about that. In the meantime, here is Salazar of Ecuador coming out for her second attempt, 130 kilos.
She is rewriting her own record book today.
Yeah.
Good for her.
5 kilo improvement over her previous best if she makes this.
Vamos, vamos. Muy bien, rectito, atrás,
Clean.
quietica.
Beautiful jerk.
She's got that rigidity, stiffness when she catches the bar. So
Upright in the calf.
bar just lands and bends.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, there's no give in the torso at all.
Yep. Which is so crucial in the jerk as well.
Yes.
A nice, solid, rigid torso. I mean, yeah, you see it right
Yes. See the bend of the bar.
there. Beautiful. And with that women's bar, it really,
Oh, it's great.
yeah, it's done at about 120, 125, definitely by 130. You can utilize it.
I have a bar, an old Maverick bar that has a lot of whip in it, and you can feel it even off the floor. So you get to like 140, and you start pulling, you start coming up, and the bar's bending, and the weights are still on the ground. And then when the bars come off, it just whips through the past the knee. It's great. You can't train on it when you're training for competition because it really gives you a
false sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I think anyone who's lifted on a quality barbell knows the difference.
Yeah.
Between lifting on a barbell like an Alico or something that's a nice quality springy bar and a dead barbell.
Yeah.
Something you find in a regular gym.
Like a deadlift bar, trying to do cleans or snatch on a deadlift bar. It's really
brutal.
Or using old like 50 kilo plates, loading them first. It's just awful.
Best thing to do with a 50 kilo plate is prop open a door.
Right now, I have some, well, they're 42.5 kilo plates, which is another story. But we use them for hypers.
Or that's a lot of weight for a hyper.
Well, we're really strong in my gym.
Apparently. Salazar coming out, third attempt, 133 kilos.
This is a great total.
Yeah, this is a total that
it's going to be competitive in the
I think so. It's going to take a few lifts before we surpass this in the A's later today.
Wow.
She times that jerk perfectly. I mean perfectly. Rigid torso dips, and you can see the bar bend around her, and she's up and going.
She's going to be somebody to watch for future.
Still a junior. Last year's a junior. And there's that jerk. Look at that. You know, the Ecuador team, they've brought some great athletes. Here are results for the women's 90 kilo session in the clean and jerk. Group B, Salazar, of course, 133 in the lead. Ilmarinen of Finland, 124. Van Bellingen of Belgium in 121. You can see some more results now. The total in this group, Salazar, of course, in the lead, 234. Ilmarinen, Finland, second, 226. Van Bellingen of Belgium, 222. Closely followed by Mami Shimamoto of Japan with